Hi everybody, it's Miss Knutson and I have Eden with me today because we are going to do a fun back to school supplies DIY session. We have got some great ideas of how to take your everyday, not so cute school supplies and make them unique so nobody else at school will have supplies that look like yours. And Eden cares about that. So we've got a few things that we are going to decorate today and make them their own. You can find all sorts of stuff around the internet that talks about doing your own awesome school supplies. But let me tell you, a lot of them involve really fancy materials. Miss Knutson likes to keep it simple because I know you mamas out there, mamas of 12-year-olds like Eden who really want cool school supplies, are going, honey, I can buy that for less than all the supplies that are needed to make that thing. The things that we use are pretty normal, okay? So what I want to do today is a few fun things. We are going to decorate some ordinary pencils. We are going to decorate a notebook cover, a tape dispenser. We've got a special do-it-yourself surprise at the end that you can just hang on and wait for one last hurrah of do-it-yourself magic. So the supplies you're going to need to do these activities are your base, of course, your school supplies. You're going to need scissors. You are going to need masking tape. You're going to need some form of acrylic paint, or just the craft paint that you can get at any craft store, but an acrylic-based paint. You will need that. Decorative paper, that can be scrapbooking paper, that can be handmade paper, it can be magazine pages, just some sort of decorative paper. Brushes, that'll be important too. So for our first DIY back to school project, we are going to paint our pencils. In order to jazz up this pencil, you're going to need your acrylic paint and your masking tape. We picked colors that we liked and we painted the base color of our pencil the color that we wanted. And before we started painting, we put a little piece of masking tape across the metal and the eraser to protect it, and so that when you're done painting, you can peel it off and it'll be nice and clean and look like a real, bought it from the store, decorated pencil. Depending on what kind of paint you have, it might take a couple layers, but just set those off to the side to dry. And while you wait for those to dry, you can try another one of our projects. Let me show you a fun way to make a really unique and super easy jazzy tape dispenser. It's really easy, guys. When you buy it from the store, it comes with this in it, right? Ta-da! This little piece of cardstock with the logo on it. So what you want to do is you want to replace this with the fun paper of your choice, like neon zebra stripes, okay? So what you do is you just trace your shape onto your decorative paper, cut it out. If you have the same brand we do, it pops right apart like this, and you take that liner out and you can put your fancy one in. So Eden made this fun one, so if you want it to be really funky or if you want it to be a little bit preppy, this is a little bit classy and fun. And you can make matching sides. Just remember, if you're using the template that came, if you're using this template that came with the tape, if you want to do the opposite side, you're going to need to trace it, the mirror image, so that it fits in there. Boring logo, gone. Fancy paper, hooray. All right. One thing you may learn about me is that I love masking tape. Here is another fun idea, and what I have done is I have covered parts of it with masking tape to create a really neat pattern. And I'm gonna use the same paint that I'm using for my pencils, And if you want to, you can even color coordinate your notebook to your pencils. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to paint the shapes onto the masking tape so that there will be these unique shapes on the cover of my notebook. I just use the regular width of the masking tape, but if you want to cut your masking tape and make all sorts of designs, you can do that. Masking tape is affordable and really useful. Go ahead and try to decorate one of your spiral notebooks or your little planner, or as I said, sketchbooks. That's what I decorate, is my sketchbooks. Okay, this is my notebook that I've painted with different colors, and my masking tape is safely secured in place so you can paint over the tape. As you can see, I've painted over it. If you paint very carefully and neatly, then you will get some nice lines on the edges here. All right, our pencils are dry and it is time to paint them. And when you apply your masking tape, make sure that you secure it in the area that you want it to be on, but make sure that you don't press down like super duper hard. It's just the edges that you need. And carefully remove the masking tape or it might pull up the layer underneath. So as you can see, I've done this entire pencil. So you're going to put the masking tape in even intervals all the way down your pencil. And as you are done with each layer and when it's dry, you can peel it off very carefully. You can always touch up any boo-boos you might have on your pencil, but you can try different things. We made a spiral by cutting our masking tape in half and making skinny strips and then spiraling them down the pencil and then painting. Have fun decorating. You can do all sorts of fun designs. Just be careful to not leave the masking tape on too long and to make sure your pencil is perfectly dry before you add more layers to it. We learned that the hard way. I have one that is bone dry and I painted it black. I'm going to practice on this pencil because I was patient enough to let it dry. Then I took my black pencil and I covered it completely with more pieces of masking tape. So I'm going to undo this one and let you guys see kind of what it looks like. Da, 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 funky! That looks like street art or something. That is really cool. I like that. Ooh, look at Eden's triangles. Ooh, that is really neat. I look forward to seeing what hers looks like when it's all uncovered. Remember I showed you my taped notebook, okay? So one thing I want you guys to be really careful with when you do your taped notebook, one thing I discovered is if I don't take my masking tape off just right, it tears my paper. I had to touch up a couple places and then I decided instead of leaving that stripe in the middle, I made it kind of ombre, okay?
No, that was my idea.
Oh, yes, it was her idea. This was Eden's idea to fill in the place that got a little torn with this ombre technique, okay? So that is what I'm leaving on my notebook.
I was lost in my mind, lost in my mind. I was stuck in my mind. When you go, you go, you go.
The last awesome do-it-yourself school supply that I want to share with you is something that Eden and I found on the good old internet today, and I just want to share it with you guys. This involves using either a highlighter or any felt tip marker to create a rainbow marker or a rainbow highlighter, and it's pretty cool. So what you will need to do this rainbow marker is you will need a felt tip marker of some kind or a felt tip yellow highlighter. So you're going to need a blue and a red, And if you have highlighters, if you have like that dark pink highlighter and then a blue highlighter, all in the same package or all the same brand, they'll work great. What you do is you're gonna take your yellow marker right here. You're gonna take the red marker and you're gonna press it against one side of the yellow, okay? You're gonna let that ink kind of bleed up and down the side of your yellow marker, okay? And you're gonna do the same thing with the blue. Now you can tell we did this quite a while ago, like earlier today. And as those colors kind of bleed together, they make a rainbow marker. So let me show you.
When you go, I'm a sunless sky.
So give this a try. It was really an amazing find to create beautiful rainbows with one stroke of a marker. Eden and I really enjoyed doing these school supplies together, making them our own, trying different things with what we had already in our house. You will be the envy of all your friends with your own personalized school supplies that you spent maybe a day like today where it is just too hot to do anything. We will show you some photos of all of our finished products. Make sure that you follow the directions carefully, and we will see you next time. Bye, guys.
Cause you're a sky full of stars. I'm gonna give you my heart. Cause you're a sky full of stars. Cause you light up the path.
Hey everybody, it's Miss Knutson. I just want to say thank you for watching this video, and for all of you guys that have subscribed recently, welcome to Miss Knutson's art class. I am going to work really diligently to get the intro to painting block of videos done, and I will drop those videos hopefully in the next 2 weeks. So right as we are all starting school here in the Southeast United States, we will have some intro to painting classes. So thanks again, guys. Follow, subscribe, plug in your email address at www.missknutsonsartclass.com, and you'll be on the mailing list for free downloads and updates. I would love to keep in touch with you. So thanks again, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Cause you're a sky full of stars. I wanna die in your arms. Oh. Cause you get lost.